The Republic of Finland was declared in 1917 and established itself in a bitter civil war against communism. Now, 22 years later, Finnish independence is about to be snuffed out as the old enemy returns. The Red Army marches into Finland. The legendary Carl Gustaf Mannerheim leads the Finnish defense forces, under-equipped, poorly armed, and vastly outnumbered. Only high morale and skillful leadership can tip the scales back in Finland's favor. You will take the role of Lieutenant General Carl Lennart Osh, a talented Finnish officer and Marshal Mannerheim's most trusted commander. As the country's foremost defensive expert, lead Finland in the 3 wars fought on its territory throughout 1939 to 1945, and drive any and all invaders from your northern homeland, no matter which flag they're flying. Hold the line, General Osh.
And so, the Soviet Union shows its true colors. Their troops have crossed our border in force. Gentlemen, the war that began in Poland has finally come to us.
The Soviets claim our troops shelled their positions near the village of Mainila.
An absurd accusation, and they know it. Our artillery was pulled back precisely to prevent an incident like that.
Exactly. They simply needed an excuse to invade us. Now, they've created one.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who fired the first shot. Now we have to defend ourselves.
It does matter to the League of Nations. Our government wants to appeal to the League for assistance.
That's nice, but the League can't help Finland if there is no more Finland to help.
Just so. We must hold the line, General Osh. And you are the best defensive tactician we have.
You'll have your hands full, General. The Soviets plan to overwhelm us with sheer numbers.
A few more months to prepare would have helped. Our main defensive line is still unfinished.
Then we'll have to rely on your skill and the sisu of our soldiers. I am placing my trust in you, General.
I won't let you down. But that appeal to the League, I suggest you tell our government to hurry.
General Iroh, give us a situation report.
The Soviet forces have broken through our border defenses. According to the field reports, they expect this initial attack to push all the way to Viipuri.
Well, they won't reach it. General Osh, you will make sure of it. Destroy the enemy's forward units. The time for diplomacy is over.
Understood, Field Marshal. Our soldiers will meet the enemy at Kanediarvi. The landscape there is excellent for defense. However, we can't hold the enemy there for long. My current forces won't nearly be enough.
I understand. You'll be reinforced at the earliest opportunity, but before that, the fate of Finland depends on your leadership. Do not let your country down, Lennart.
General Osh, strange enemy activity has been spotted at Patriki. Send in aviation reconnaissance as soon as possible to see what the Soviets are planning.
Understood, General Iroh. I will give the orders.
Your forces are comprised of both core and non-core units. Core unit strength indicator is green and round shaped, and for non-core units it is yellow and hexagon shaped. Non-core units are allocated for one mission only, while the core units will accompany you throughout the campaign. You will be able to level them up and provide them with new equipment. These units are the ones which should be under your primary protection.
Recon patrol standing by.
Ammunition and fuel icons next to unit strength will allow you to quickly get important information about it. If the unit is still able to move during the current turn, the canister icon will be green. If it can no longer move, the icon will be gray. Likewise, the ammunition icon shows whether the unit has attacked this turn. If the unit is low on ammunition or fuel, the corresponding icon is yellow. It becomes red once the unit has run out of it completely.
Heading there now.
Anti-tank gun is here! Time to get mobile!
Artillery is the basis of the firepower of your forces. It can weaken enemy fortifications to allow your troops to attack without heavy losses. It is also good for defense, as it provides fire support to the ground units within its range. However, its main strength is its long firing range, which allows you to destroy the enemy troops from afar. Remember though, artillery is vulnerable to aircraft attacks and in close combat, so it needs to be protected.
Men, we've got company.
I asked you to conduct aerial reconnaissance, General Oesch. You didn't listen, and now God only knows what the Soviets are planning. General Oesch, an opportunity presents itself to capture some Soviet vehicles. Our scouts report that there are several disabled Soviet tanks currently in Korkanmaki. Capture those tanks before the Bolsheviks get them back on the road.
We could definitely use some armor in this army. Thanks for the tip. I'll see about paying the Bolsheviks a visit.
Tanks are ideal for a rapid offensive in open terrain. However, they are vulnerable in close quarters to the infantry units in difficult terrain, such as cities, mountains, forests, swamps, shallows, and well-entrenched infantry units.
Standing by for orders. Orders confirmed. Firing.
Anti-tank artillery is effective against tanks and other hard targets. Your best tactic when using anti-tank artillery is to position it next to your other forces to provide them with fire support versus attacks from enemy tanks.
Soldiers of Finland! Soldiers of Finland!
Tanks are here.
Infantry is good for assaulting the enemy positions after the artillery and air bombardment. It is also the best unit for storming cities, mountains, forests, and well-entrenched positions. A well-entrenched infantry is a tough target for the enemy assault.
Tank crew reporting.
Beware the fire support of the enemy artillery. Damage is indicated with the numbers above the unit being attacked. For ground and aircraft units, there are two types of damage, lethal and non-lethal. Both lethal and non-lethal damage decrease the unit's strength. However, non-lethal damage at the same time increases the number of units damaged, which can later be restored. Naval units always receive only lethal damage. However, they have multiple ship parts with their corresponding HP. Thus, damage against them is split. Ship parts except the hull are repaired over time by ship maintenance. Hull HP cannot be restored in any way during the operation.
Long-range recon awaiting orders.
Finnish armor standing by.
You have selected an entrenched unit. When a ground unit finishes its turn while still being able to move, this unit has heavy equipment. Units with heavy equipment cannot move if they do not have ground transport. Additionally, they cannot board air transport and can only disembark from naval transport at a seaport.
Ready to roll out. Heading there now. Say goodbye.
Nothing will slip through, be sure of that.
Recon patrol standing by. Executing. Mission successful. Radio loud and clear.
All city, forest, and mountain terrain offer much better protection from enemy attacks. Right-click an empty hexagon to learn more about its terrain.
Any orders for us?
Forward recon reporting.
Armored vehicle reporting.
The Soviet offensive has been repelled, Field Marshal.
Excellent work, General Ush. This gives us some time and we must use it well. I'm sending you some reinforcements as we speak. Assume the command. Your next task will be to capture the airfield near Mustamaki. Take it from the Soviets and we'll be able to send in the Air Force.
Whatever you send, I won't say no to it. We're dealing with an invasion here. I'll give orders to capture that airfield.
We hit fast, we hit hard. Time to get mobile.
This thing has a target painted all over it.
Forward recon reporting. Moving unseen.
We fight like our fathers did!
Reconnaissance is extremely important in an offensive, since it provides you with full intelligence information regarding the presence of enemy forces, thus making your attack more effective. A reconnaissance unit can move several times per turn, as long as it has move points left. Once the reconnaissance unit notices the enemy, it automatically stops and then can move again. If an enemy surrenders to your reconnaissance unit, it gains full information about all the enemy units nearby.
Artillery, on the move.
Need a scout?
Greetings, General Ush. Our intelligence service reports that the Soviets have recently captured a warehouse in this area, one we couldn't evacuate on time. We cannot afford to waste valuable army equipment like that. Retake the warehouse at the earliest opportunity.
Thank you for the information, General Iroh. I will see what I can do.
We'll flatten them. Continuous fire.
We'll have plenty of targets soon.
Armored vehicle reporting. I hope my training was enough. Take aim!
Recon patrol standing by.
We'll keep enemy tanks at bay. Don't make us draw the enemy fire, all right? Recon vehicle on the move. You picked a bad day to get lost. Combat mission successful.
Any orders for us?
Be careful when you send your tanks into city, mountain, and forest terrain. If they run into enemy infantry, any skirmish will likely result in heavy losses due to close quarters.
Say goodbye.
Soldiers, form up. Squad, on the move. We hit fast, we hit hard.
Standing by for orders.
We do our scouting on foot. We'll smoke out the defenders.
Your unit has been...
The airfield is ours, Field Marshal Mannerheim.
Good to hear. Our combat aviation is now under your command. General Ush, the time has come for a counterattack. You need to recapture the city of Raivola. That will serve as a cold shower for the Reds.
It will be done, Field Marshal Mannerheim.
Fighter planes are vital for gaining air superiority. Keep your fighters close to allied aircraft you want to protect, and they will provide fire support. Fighters are able to attack ground targets, although with low efficiency. They can use the Overwatch breakthrough skill to counter enemy anti-aircraft fire and clear the way for tactical bombers.
Commencing the attack.
Ready for a raid.
Tactical bombers are flying artillery and a great tool for wreaking havoc on any enemy troops, although you have to be careful of the anti-aircraft units Overwatch and fire support. It is better to scout the enemy positions before sending in bombers. Do not leave your tactical bombers without protection. Remember, they are a prime target for enemy fighter planes.
The pride of Finland. Understood. Moving.
We bring the heat.
The sky is ours. Advancing. Fighter squadron standing by. The sky is ours. Target sighted. We drove them back, like you knew we would.
Ready to wreak some havoc?
Finnish Air Force is here. commencing the attack. Shut down.
Ready to wreak some havoc?
This target has the fire support of enemy fighter planes. It is costly to attack any enemy plane next to an enemy fighter.
Tactical bomber reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
General Oesch, something absolutely infuriating is happening at Kivenapa. Eyewitnesses report a Soviet armored car with a loudspeaker mounted on it, driving around and spreading Bolshevik propaganda.
Didn't think anything could infuriate you, Iroh. But I suppose listening about the joys awaiting Finland under communism will get on anybody's nerves.
Precisely. Our people are more or less immune to that nonsense, but it makes the Soviet soldiers fight with added enthusiasm. For God's sake, get in there and shut that circus down.
It will be my pleasure. Standing up. Target sighted. We've forced them to retreat.
Ready to wreak some havoc?
Awaiting orders. Target acquired. Won't hop around anymore.
An anti-aircraft unit is a powerful and versatile weapon. Its main purpose is to protect your forces from enemy aircraft by overwatch, fire support, and direct attack of the enemy. However, it can also effectively combat ground units. Large caliber anti-aircraft artillery is a good weapon for destroying enemy tanks.
Here to defend our homeland. Enemy taken care of. Everyone, move out!
Finnish artillery reporting.
Anti-tank gun is here! Swift and deadly! Recon vehicle reporting success! Ready for recon duty!
You have captured an enemy supply point intact. It can now be used to supply your troops.
We're all brothers here, even the commies from Tampere.
Heading out.
Quality over quantity, I guess. Watch where you're driving.
Let's waste no time. Finnish bombers ready for duty. Finnish bombers ready for duty. Orders confirmed. Tactical bomber reporting. Bomb delivered. Tactical bomber reporting. Any fire missions for us?
Ready for recon duty. On our way.
A trip back to base is in order.
This unit is on the verge of defeat. Send the unit to the service zone where it can be reinforced. The service zone is a 1 hex range around an infrastructure.
The Soviet breach of our main defenses has doomed us all. We all share the terrible burden of this responsibility, but you, General Osh, were the one directly in command. Evidently, your place in high command was unearned. Perhaps you'll redeem yourself as a common